My name's Peter Nikolakakos and I'm the Location Director of Hoyts Melbourne Central. And this is our submission for the UMRIKA Local Area Marketing Campaign. Your brief stated that as cinema managers, we know our audience best. What will make them curious about a film, what will make them come out and see a film. So this got me thinking, what makes a good film? I'm lucky enough to have hosted many film festivals over the years, and in fact just recently concluded was the Melbourne International Film Festival for 2015, as well as the Indian Film Festival of Melbourne for 2015. I've worked closely with festival committees and realised how much work and how much they struggle and toil over selecting films that play in their festival, but in particular tentpole films, films like opening night and closing night. For often, opening night films set the standard for the festival going forward, and closing night set the bar for the following year's festival. So film selection is absolutely crucial. This year, UMRIKA was selected as the opening night film for the Indian Film Festival of Melbourne. After chatting with festival director about her film selection, she agreed that this film crosses cultural boundaries and plays across a fairly broad cross-section of audience. We were lucky enough to host the opening night and have over 500 guests here, including VIPs, key stakeholders, sponsors and the general public. And it was interesting to see that not everybody that came to see the film, although it was part of the Indian Film Festival of Melbourne, was from the Indian culture. I even gave UMRIKA a special mention at the Indian Film Awards this year, held on August 15th in Melbourne.
Australia with our proud partners Hoyts. Hoyts have supported us and they allowed us to basically bring the films in as a mainstream offering in their mainstream cinemas along with all the other fare. So I accept this award. I would actually like Peter from Hoyts to come up. If I know he's tucked in somewhere, are you able to squeeze yourself out and jump up? So.
Thank you everybody. I come from the Greek culture and I feel like I'm at my wedding now, so I would like to say how proud we are to be partners with the Indian Film Festival of Melbourne, mind-blowing films and mixed with the whole team. It's an absolute pleasure to work with them year on year. We had a fantastic launch yesterday, the opening night at Melbourne Central, where there were many hundreds of people that saw the fantastic film UMRIKA. I'm sure we'll have a fantastic festival for the next couple of weeks. Thank you and enjoy the evening.
So again, I ask myself, what makes a good film? And I guess it's one that's relatable to a broad cross-section of people, one that connects with people and strikes a chord, gives them a sense of familiarity and an opportunity to identify with its themes. Is it too easy just to simply reach out to the Indian community? It's a safe bet to think that they will probably come and see this film. So it got me thinking, what is this story really about? And it's almost a classic tale of, migrants leaving their homeland in search for a better life in a faraway land. As the son of migrant parents who moved from Greece 50 years ago in search for a better life for themselves in a faraway land, I could certainly relate to this story. It brought back memories of my childhood, of listening to stories of the trials and tribulations that my parents faced while they were here. And whilst the stories from 50 years ago essentially are different in their substance, the underlying themes are the same. So I guess no matter where you're from, you can relate to this film. This then made me think about a key demographic of Hoyts Melbourne Central. Approximately 304,000 of our 1.1 million admissions a year are students. That's a staggering 27% and a little over double the national average for Hoyts sites. After liaising with Erin Jamieson of Jamieson & Co Publicity and Management and running my ideas by her, she agreed that I was on the right track. Erin was able to source materials for us, including one-sheets, flyers, and assisted in arranging a word-of-mouth screening for UMRIKA. The student market, and in particular the international student market in Melbourne, is prolific. Having two of Australia's largest universities on our doorstep, Melbourne and RMIT, we have the perfect avenue in which to go and promote UMRIKA. So we reached out to approximately 20 international student clubs and associations within the universities and issued a press kit and key art for the film. This was then on-sent to their members, which range in the thousands. We also promoted the film on RMIT's student radio station, SYN FM, as well as SYN FM's Facebook page and the RMIT Events Facebook page.
Keep entertained these school holidays at Hoyts Melbourne Central in the heart of the city. Enjoy the sights and sounds of the latest release movies with Extreme Screen, a 10,000 watt state-of-the-art surround sound system and big screen. It'll blow you away. Catch the latest award-winning films like UMRIKA, a heartwarming story about a young boy who leaves his rural village in India to travel to America. Sessions are filling up quickly, so book your movie tickets for the school holidays now at Hoyts Melbourne Central. For more info, visit www.hoyts.com.au and select Melbourne Central as your preferred cinema. SYN sponsor.
Now, keeping in mind that the thousands of international students in Melbourne all need somewhere to live, a major partner in housing many university students in Melbourne is Unilodge. We went to 5 Unilodge locations in and around the CBD and had UMRIKA flyers placed in their foyers. We are the major anchor tenant in one of Melbourne's busiest shopping centres. We work closely with its marketing team to promote UMRIKA on its Facebook page, which has over 80,000 followers, on their website, which has around 120,000 unique visits per month, via Instagram, which has approximately 12,000 followers, and Twitter, which has around 4,000 followers. The centre itself has over 50 million visitors a year, and a staggering 28% of those are students. Yep, that's 14 million students that use this shopping centre per year. Very similar numbers in percentage to the Hoyts average. So I guess Hoyts must be their cinema of choice. Now, an audience that big, I feel, is too good to be capitalised on. So we started thinking about another way we could perhaps exploit those crowds in promoting the film. And it got me thinking, what's a busy part of this shopping centre, or any shopping centre, and that's the food court. We partnered with Natya Bollywood, the winner of this year's 2015 Telstra Bollywood competition held at Fed Square on August 15, and devised a plan to unleash a flash mob on unsuspecting diners on Melbourne Central's food court one busy Saturday afternoon.
Baby Sienna, our youngest of performers today. We did a really beautiful flash mob here at Hoyts Melbourne Central trying to promote the new movie UMRIKA. Please come and watch it. Do watch it. Do watch it. We are Natya Bollywood, Australia's award-winning dance company. We recently won a competition here at Fed Square?
Fed Square, Telstra.
Promoting the Indian Film Festival, and we had the pleasure of doing a flash mob here for Hoyts. We're going to be showing this movie again. Come and watch it and see our flash mob on YouTube very soon.
Enjoy!
As you can see, this stopped traffic. Once the dancers were over their performance, they then roamed the food court and handed out flyers for UMRIKA. We also hosted a word-of-mouth screening of UMRIKA. Ticket giveaways were promoted through Melbourne and RMIT universities, through the shopping centre, who invited staff from every one of its 300 retail outlets, as well as through a PR agency that they use called Undertow Media, who went to a whole bunch of what they call influencers and invited them to come along. In fact, those that came along have a following of about approximately 30,000 people between them. Now that's enough about what we got everybody else to do for us. Hoyts Melbourne Central itself also promoted the film via our own Facebook page, which has approximately 1,500 followers. These are dedicated people that look for any information relating to films, and particularly here at Melbourne Central, advanced ticket sales, any competitions and promotions that are coming up. And we sort of got to thinking about the theme of the promotion that we were going with, and that is the film being relatable to a lot of people, considering the international student market here in Melbourne. So what we did was we started an event and asked people to post a picture of themselves or a picture telling us where they're from. We called it the UMRIKA Tell Us Where You're From competition. And of course, finally, we targeted the obvious, the Indian community. In the time of the promotion, we had two major Indian films released, Phantom and Kati Bati, and everybody that came to purchase a ticket for those was handed a flyer and reminded that the film UMRIKA was about to be released. In conclusion, I guess in the short window of opportunity we had to promote UMRIKA prior to its release, we did a pretty good job of getting the message out there to a wide range and a large group of people. We identified a unique angle and underlying theme in the film, and one we felt would resonate with a broad cross-section of the local community. Melbourne is the most livable city in the world. It is a multicultural hub of Australia, so why wouldn't we go to this market? We think we've done a pretty good job. After all, no matter where you're from, you can be Greek, Italian, Indian, Chinese, the list goes on and on. The film connects on many levels cross-culturally. Yes, it's a film about an Indian boy and his family, but the underlying themes cross all boundaries, I guess, and was one that we felt we could exploit rather than just going down the path of the obvious and targeting the Indian community. Hoyts Melbourne Central is ranked at number 2 nationally after the opening week of UMRIKA, and is ranked as the highest grossing non-art house location and the number 1 Hoyts location for the film. Now, enough about the boring facts and figures about what we did. Here's a visual summary of how we promoted the film UMRIKA. Thank you. We identified a key local demographic, international students, partnered with 2 major universities, Melbourne and RMIT, and targeted this demographic via international student clubs and associations, student radio.
Catch the latest award-winning films like UMRIKA.
Student radio Facebook, university events Facebook, Unilodge student accommodation. We also partnered with the shopping centre to leverage their giant reach via Facebook, which has 80,000 followers, their website, which has 120,000 unique visits per month, their Twitter, which is 4,000 followers, Instagram, 12,000 followers. The centre itself has traffic of 50 million people per annum. Student shoppers make up 28% of a staggering 14 million people per annum. Flash mob in the food court, flyer distribution in the food court via the centre info desk, word of mouth screening, partnered with Undertone Media, the shopping centre's PR firm, to invite influencers and others that have amongst them about 30,000 followers, created a positive feel prior to the screening by entertaining them with canapes and champagne, and I guess buttering them up a little. Partnered with the shopping centre to invite retailers from each one of its 300 retail stores, and all purchases of tickets to Phantom and Kati Bati, the UMRIKA Tell Us Where You're From campaign on Hoyts, SYN FM and RMIT Facebook.